All right. So I don't know why I thought about this story. Uh, I just randomly thought about it, and this probably happened to me when I was about maybe 10, 11, 12 years old. So I had a neighbor, a next door neighbor, and known him for years, all through my life growing up, and his name was Chris. So Chris was kind of an interesting character because he was extremely funny and he was extremely cool, but he had this one thing, and that thing was bullying, and he did it to all of us. All our group of friends, he bullied us. And when I say bully, I mean everything under the sun of bullying. He would beat the shit out of us. He would make fun of us, call us poor, talk shit about our parents. He just did everything. He made our lives miserable. So for a while, our group of friends, which was about maybe like 6 of us, we decided we were going to get him back for all the years of torture he put us through. And so one day he's Mexican, okay? That this context is important. I don't say that lightly for no reason. He's Mexican. So I would say about 2 to 3 times a year, he would go with his family to Mexico, and they'd get an ass load of Mexican candy, like all the good shit, like the watermelon pops with Lucas on them. They'd get those. I don't even know the fucking names of it. I'm sorry. It's just Mexican candy, okay? And when I say an ass load of it, I am not fucking joking. Like, think of the biggest bags of candy you can get at Walmart, and take like 20 of those, and I'm not even exaggerating. About 20 of those is how much candy he would get from fucking Mexico, because he was a spoiled little shit and he was fat. That's not important. I mean, it kind of is, but anyway. So this would happen 2 to 3 times a year. So one time we decided that we were gonna get him back. So there was this there's a couple girls in the neighborhood, my sister and some of her friends, and we got one of her friends. We knew he liked her, so we told her to entertain him in his room for a little bit. And what that entailed was we had her go over to his house, right, by herself. Meanwhile, the 6 of us, we're all hanging out at my house next door, and we're all like standing lookout from my house, and we're all like looking out the window and shit. And a couple of us even ran across the street just to spy on him, so we would make sure like she went in his house. So she went in his house, and we told her like keep him busy, talk to him, maybe, I don't know, make out with him if you have to. So we use her as this kind of sacrificial lamb so we could sneak into his house. Because one thing about our friend Chris is that for whatever reason, there would be days where he would talk shit to his parents, like cuss at his parents, and he would get grounded. So what he would do was the back window to his room, he would open it, and he would allow his friends to come in and hang out with him, even though he was supposed to be grounded. And as far as I knew, this always worked. I've even done it myself, going through his back window a couple of times. So what we did was we told her to, while she was distracting him, to get him in another room and do whatever. So she does that, right? So all the rest of us, and I mean all of us, we go through the back window of his room, and we ransack the place for his fucking candy. And when I say ransack, I mean we fucked that room up. We were looking for the candy, and he liked to hide things. So we had to like move all his fucking DVDs, his fucking computer, his TV. We moved all that shit around and we just like stole all his fucking candy, right? So this is taking about 15-20 minutes. And we're all running out with handfuls of candy, and a couple of friends even took some bags because they were like, fuck this guy. And so we just like kind of left her in there. And then one of my friends had an idea. He's like, you know what? Fuck Chris. He's an asshole. I'm gonna teach him a lesson. So we're all like kind of looking at each other like, didn't we just teach him a lesson? We stole all his fucking candy. And he's like, nah, check this shit out. So one thing about Chris is that he had cats, and the cats were always outside. So they never bothered to get a litter box for their house. And when the cats were outside, they just let them shit like everywhere in their yard, in their front yard, and they'd like never clean it. So what my friend does is he takes the cat shit bare hand, like no bag or anything, and he just takes a bunch of cat shit from the yard and he puts it in my friend Chris's bed. So the bed is covered in cat shit, and then we're all laughing, we're all having a good time. We're like, oh yeah, that son of a bitch deserves it. And then he says, you know what, I'm not done. And we're all looking at each other like, what more can you do? So there's a bunch of empty water bottles all over the fucking yard, and my friend decides that he's gonna take a piss in it and he's gonna pour it all over the bed. So he takes a piss in the bottle, and as he's pouring it all over the bed, I guess our female friend decides that she's kind of done doing whatever she's doing to entertain this guy, and she's leaving. So he's coming back. So my friend starts freaking out, and he starts fucking like getting all the water out, and he's like getting piss all over his hands. So we're like, dude, come on, let's fucking go. Let's get the fuck out of here. And we all fucking leave, right? And we all fucking smell, we're all dirty and everything, and we come back to my parents' house, and they're out, so they have no idea of what's happening, and we're just picking out on Mexican candy. So we all decide not to hang out with Chris for a while, just because we don't fucking want to, and we think he might know. So I decide, you know what, I kind of feel bad about everything, so I'm gonna hang out with Chris. And I'm hanging out with him, and he's telling me, he's like, dude, the craziest shit happened. And I'm thinking, oh fuck, what happened? He said, dude, some fucking raccoons or something must have came in, and they shit all over my bed, and they pissed all over it, and they fucked up my room. And they took all my Mexican candy. And I'm thinking, dude, he's fucking with me, right? Like, we're 10, 11, 12. He can't possibly think that a raccoon came in his room and took his fucking candy. And the funniest part about all of it was that out of everything he said, like, they took a shit on his bed, they messed up his room, he was so fucking pissed about the candy. The fucking candy. Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know why I felt like telling that story, but here you go.